Hey, what's up guys? In today's video, we are listing the top 5 best running sunglasses in 2022. Through extensive research on Amazon products, we have put together a list of options that meet the needs of different types of buyers. On our channel, from 1 to 5, we have got you covered. For more information, check the box down and don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell. And now let's get started.
Ask any runner and they'll tell you, items carried on a race will get exponentially heavier as the miles pass. That's why a lightweight pair of shades is crucial, and you won't get much lighter than the Roka Phantom Titanium. At just over half an ounce, the Roka Phantom Titaniums are virtually weightless. I slipped them on before a run, and could barely tell I was wearing anything at all. This stayed true for the entirety of my workout, where Roka's patented GEKO nose and temple padding kept the sunglasses secure but not annoyingly tight. After I walked into my apartment to stretch and cool down, it took me a few minutes to realize they were still on my face. The Roka Phantom Titanium owes its feather-like qualities to the titanium part of its name. This ultra-lightweight alloy retains a relatively high level of tensile strength and resists corrosion, so while the frames and temple arms may look a little fragile, you can rest assured that they'll hold up for all of your outdoor efforts. The drawback to this construction is flexibility. There is none. Really. So if you have a larger than average head or face, you'll want to look into the Phantom Titanium's XL sizing. Besides that, the Phantom Titaniums just look so effortlessly cool. Their sleek and shiny aviator design made me feel like I'd stepped onto the set Top Gun whenever I wore them. I'm sure having Danger Zone on my running playlist helped to create that imagery. They also switched to more casual usage very easily, and garnered plenty of compliments at a bachelorette party I attended. Roka offers a decent range of frame and lens color options for the Phantom Titanium, so finding a pair that works for your running routes and your social calendar shouldn't be too difficult. It's nice to have that versatility, especially considering that the Phantom Titaniums are the most expensive sunglasses on our list. Given the almost unbelievably low price of the Goodrogs, I was very skeptical of their quality. I'd purchased tons of low-cost sunglasses before, the key word here being tons. I'd always have to replace them when they broke after a few weeks, but none of them had ever worked for my run days. They'd slide off my nose, or the lenses would fog, or they'd bounce so much I'd start to get vertigo around mile 2, but the Goodrogs shocked me in the best way possible. Not only did they stay put for an entire 5K, a feat that no model without nose padding had been able to accomplish, they held up in my purse and gym bag without bending or breaking, and without me worrying about them bending or breaking. Unlike some of the costlier models on our list, the Goodrogs have a much thicker frame and a classic, Wayfarer-esque design. This kind of a build has several advantages. The sturdy and robust temples are way less susceptible to snapping in half, the lenses are fully encased and protected by the rim, and they easily transition to more general usage, with lens and frame options for nearly every occasion. The major downside to this shape is coverage. While I still felt the Goodrogs did a decent job of blocking rays, because the lenses don't wrap around the eye as much as other running sunglasses, you're guaranteed to get some leakage around the edges. Honestly, this didn't affect me too much, and I have very light-sensitive eyes. Still, it's something that should be noted, especially if you run in very sunny environments. Another disadvantage to the Goodrogs is their size. While they fit my head perfectly, they may prove to be a little snug on those with larger face shapes. Fortunately, Goodr offers the BFG model that features longer arms, wider frames, bigger lenses, and silicone nose pad inserts. They're $10 more than the OG, but still substantially cheaper than the majority of other sunglasses on our list. I hate to admit it, but the aesthetics of running sunglasses are very important to me. I know my focus should be on the specs, but if the most cutting-edge pair of running sunglasses make me look as if I've just beamed down from a UFO, it's highly unlikely I'll wear them that often. That's why my eyes and ego are grateful for the Nike Skylon Ace. The Skylon Ace has a more neutral look than most wraparound sunglasses. Both the frame and lenses are free from severe angles or drastic cuts. Its overall silhouette is clean and simplified, and its design is aerodynamic without feeling too aggressively masculine. These aspects make the Skylon Ace a fantastic option for women runners who want a little more versatility from their running sunglasses. They may not be as fashion-forward as a pair of designer shades, but you wouldn't feel too out of place wearing them to the grocery store. While the Skylon Ace may look a little simpler than many running sunglasses, that doesn't mean it lacks in any technical specifications. With a base, 8 curvature and interchangeable lenses for varying degrees of sunlight, the Skylon Ace provides full coverage for the roads or the trails. During my testing of the mirrored red lenses, I had clear depth perception and vision with virtually no light leakage. Ventilizate rubber nose bridges kept the lenses from fogging too badly. Interchangeable lenses are fantastic if you like to run in different light conditions, but actually changing the lenses on the Nike Skylon Aces proved to be rather difficult. I was eventually able to remove them with some force, but not without worrying that I'd damage both the frame and lens. On the plus side, you'll never run the risk of losing a lens mid-run. The Skylon Ace's temple arms do have some flexibility, but they aren't as malleable as other sunglasses on our list. After around 30 minutes of wearing them, they started to dig into the sides of my head a little. It would be hard to compile a best running sunglasses list without including Oakley at least once. The brand has long been synonymous with high-quality outdoor sporting apparel, and frequently leads the pack with their technical advances and performance-centric designs. For the most part, Oakley's updated Radar F path is no exception. According to Oakley, the Radar F path's taller lens leads to increased viewing range in the upper peripheral region of your vision. Initially, this was an aspect that I didn't anticipate noticing on my runs. Once I got out on the road, however, it was very apparent. Instead of my eyeline hitting the top of the frame when I glanced forward, I'd hit nothing but the lens. The taller lens, paired with the Radar F path's wraparound design, actually made a much bigger coverage difference than I thought it would. Speaking of lenses, I tested a pair of Radar F paths with Oakley's Prism technology that increases contrast and enhances colors. While my surroundings seemed a bit brighter and more detailed, without too much glare. Despite a lack of polarization, these features stood out less than the Radar F path's lens length. Even with a taller lens and a wide frame, the Radar F paths are relatively lightweight due in part to Oakley's trademarked O-Matter material construction. Thanks to another Oakley innovation, the Radar F path stayed put for the entirety of my runs. Nose pads and temple arms made from unobtainium kept the sunglasses comfortably secure with each mile that passed. After the runs, however, the nose piece kept coming off, something that surprised me given Oakley's reputation and price point. Luckily, replacement nose pads are included with the Radar F path, along with a protective carrying case. The Rudy Project Propulse is a nearly perfect running companion. Weighing in at 1 ounce with condensation-inhibiting vents on the front chassis, temples, and lenses, you may forget that you have the Propulsus on in the first place, a sure sign of a fantastic pair of shades. Despite feeling lightweight, the Propulse isn't what I would consider fragile. The frame and temples are constructed from a relatively heavy-duty plastic with a pliable, rubbery arm. This malleability allows the Propulse to fit a variety of face shapes. Although they're best suited for a small or medium-sized head, they stayed solidly in place on my average-sized skull, without producing enough pressure to create a tension headache. However, if my head was a lot bigger, I think they would feel too tight. Venting directly on the lenses and frames is a design choice I'd not seen on any other pair of running sunglasses, so I was eager to test them out in conditions where a fogged-up lens was all but guaranteed. On my initial test, I noticed the smallest amount of misting near the top of the lens. But it wasn't enough to distract me or require a wipe-off. To be honest, I was still very impressed with the Propulse performance. Similar weather conditions would fog up other sunglasses I owned within seconds, and I'd have to wipe them off while still trying to maintain pace. When I popped the Propulsus back on for the following afternoon's run, I took advantage of the Rudy Project's vent control system, the ability to adjust the lens within the frame, creating an altered airflow pattern. The minimal fogging I had experienced the previous day was absent. A very minor problem solved. Initially, I assumed that the downside to these lens and frame vents would be that they'd allow some unwanted sunlight in, especially if I was running on light concrete. Surprisingly, this was not the case. The Propulse Base 8 curvature paired with a wide lens resulted in almost flawless coverage wherever I ran.